I think we need to start looking at being single as a luxury rather than a curse. I had to get some tea for this video because this is not a topic that I typically discuss, but my friends urged me to make this video because I'm always giving them advice on dating and relationships. I'm in my late 20s now, and I think this is a really crucial topic for my viewers and you, because if you're in your 20s and trying to navigate the dating world and relationships, it's so important to realize a few things and implement a few things into your life so that way you end up with the right person and you actually can reach your goals with the person that you end up with, so you don't get held back or you don't hold someone back. And I'm going to get into all of that in this video, but if you haven't already, hit subscribe. I'm going to be sharing gold, so grab some tea and let's get right into it. Dating in your 20s is so interesting because everyone's telling you to not take it too seriously and to focus on yourself and whatever, and then you hit your late 20s and they're like, why are you not married yet? Especially being South Asian and Indian, the pressure is put on me a little bit, but I honestly don't feel it because I am so aware of a few things about myself and my life that I don't really feel the need to rush settling down. I think that is actually the worst thing that you possibly can do for yourself, for your future, and for your family, the future of your family, because you need to know yourself. You need to be secure and whole on your own before you go and find that partner. I think what's also really important to note is the more work you do on yourself, the smaller the dating pool gets. I tell my friends this all the time because as they're reading more, as they're going to therapy, they're going to the gym, working out, building their career, all of these amazing things, becoming more self-aware, they're just like, this is horrible. Like, I don't relate with these guys as much, or I'm not having as much fun going out and doing all of these things. And yeah, it's lonely. Like, it's a lonely road when you take the personal development route because not everyone wants to put in the work, but there's nothing worse than you putting in the work and growing at this pace and choosing a life partner where you're at now who doesn't want to put in the same amount of work into their own journey. So you keep growing and your mind keeps expanding and you just become a better version of yourself, but this other person may stay the same, which is one huge reason why I'm so okay with not finding my person or my partner right now, because I know that I am on this personal development journey. I'm building my career, my business, myself, and I'm learning more about myself in the process. So if I were to find somebody who I clicked with like a few years ago, or a boyfriend or someone who I chose to spend the rest of my life with, and they didn't put in the same work that I've been putting in, we would be growing apart. And at this point, at age 28, we would be completely different people and not have a lot to relate on the same level. So it's so important when you are dating to find someone that aligns with your values and what you want to do with your life, your goals, your aspirations, and also your ambition, because I'm finding that there are so many really ambitious people out there, but there are also a lot of complacent people. So if you are comfortable with being comfortable and not really trying to push your limits and get to another level, that's totally fine, and there are a lot of people that are like that. But if you are someone who wants excellence from yourself, from your life, a certain kind of lifestyle, then you're gonna need to find someone who matches your energy. You may not find that at this age, or you may actually find it and then you guys can grow together, and that's a beautiful thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't settle down in your 20s. I have quite a few friends who have, and their partner is perfect for them. So there's success stories about that, but there's also a lot of people who do choose to get married quickly in their 20s, and as they grow and learn about themselves, and they end up getting divorced in their 30s. And that's another thing I like to remind myself and my friends, is that just because people are getting married now, like I'm starting to attend more weddings and everything, it doesn't mean that those relationships are forever. And also, if people are in long-term relationships throughout their 20s, there are so many people around me that are breaking up with their long-term partner who they thought they were going to marry at age 28, and then they're starting from scratch again. So that's why I really say being single is a luxury, because it is so much better to be single and alone than to be with the wrong person. And I find so many people are falling into these relationships with the wrong people, and I see a lot of people around me in these situations where they're in love but it's not their person, or they feel comfortable but they're just not really 100% in it, or maybe their values don't align, or they are wanting something more, but they're so comfortable with that person, they've built a life with that person that it's hard to escape. That is the worst feeling, to feel trapped in a situation or to feel like the next step is marriage or engagement, whatever, having babies, then you are perpetually stuck. There are bad parts that come with being single. It gets lonely, it's hard, you're doing everything alone, but really celebrate this era that you're in or this chapter of your life. This is when you are learning about yourself. You're gonna spend more time with yourself than ever in this moment. And I love spending time with myself. I love doing things alone. I love journaling, thinking deeply, thinking about my goals and aspirations. I know where I'm gonna be a few years from now is gonna be completely different than where I am right now. Like, I'm living in Austin, I'm moving to New York, I'm moving to a new city, I'm starting a new life, I'm gonna meet new people, I'm gonna expand in so many different ways. Once you have a partner, or you get married, or you have kids, or you get a dog even, you can't have that freedom and flexibility. Take advantage of this time if you are single to do something that scares you, to do something that you've been dying to do but you keep putting off, because you can be selfish right now. And being selfish in your 20s is honestly very important, because this is setting the base and the foundation of your whole life. And if you don't take advantage of the adaptability and the flexibility that you have now, you're only gonna get more rigid as the years go on, because that's just what happens as we get older. We get more tied down and stuck to things, unless you design your life not to, which you definitely can. I've done that in a way, but I know as I get older and I do wanna actually settle down and get married and find my person, I'm probably not going to have this flexibility. So I want to take advantage to get to the places where I want to go now. Then I can really be okay with settling down, and I won't feel like I'm having a midlife crisis because I didn't do the things that I wanted to when I was younger. Something else that's so important is dating is data. Don't date for the final result to end in marriage. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe you'll end up with a new friend. Maybe you're never gonna see this person again because it went so badly, but you now realize all these mannerisms that person had or the values that they had don't align with yours, and you can then fine-tune your list of the concept of the person that you want to be with, and you're getting closer to that person, and you're also getting closer to yourself because you're understanding more about what you want and what you don't want out of your partner. And I think that is so crucial, because if you don't date and you don't put yourself out there and understand these different dynamics and people that exist in the world, then you could end up dating someone and falling in love like that, and then marrying them or ending up in a long-term relationship, and then realizing later, oh, I don't really like these parts about this person, or our values don't really align, or our lifestyles aren't the same, and this is causing friction. Remember, there's no such thing as a failed experience. Like, you can gain something out of every experience you have, whether it's dating or whether it's life in general, starting a business, whatever. If you fail, if it doesn't go the way that you thought it was gonna go, you still got something out of that. So think about the benefit and think about the good, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. As you date, as you go through relationships and breakups, you're just getting closer to that person that you're meant to be with. Like, every relationship I've been in, I'm not really public about them, but they've gotten better as time has gone on, because I also become more secure and self-aware. So I know what I'm gonna put up with, what I want to give to my partner, what kind of partner I want to be, and it gets better. And maybe we grow apart or things don't work out, whatever the situation was that caused it to end, it's okay, because I know that wasn't my person. And I'm a new person now. I'm a completely different person in this moment than I was when I started dating that person. And that's kind of a beautiful thing, because now I know when I date my next person or I go on dates, I'm going to attract someone that's more aligned to who I am and this version of me. Going off of that, you need to treat yourself how you want to be treated, because I see too many people going out and saying, oh, but I want this and I want to be treated like this, but then they're not treating themselves that way. They don't have self-respect. They don't have self-compassion. They're not nice to themselves, or they really beat themselves up. And these are people who are successful, beautiful, accomplished people, but they just don't see themselves in that way. And it's really hard to expect other people to treat you like you are this golden child or put you on this pedestal and treat you in these ways if you don't have the self-respect to do it to yourself. So make sure you work on your relationship with yourself before you go out and date. Understand what is triggering you, who you want to become, your self-concept, and I have more videos on all of that and how to work on your relationship with yourself and reach your goals, because I think that's the first step before you go out and try to find a partner. And I think a really good book to read about things like this is Attachment, where they talk about the different attachment styles. There's anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, and secure attachment. You could have both, but you can also heal from having an anxious attachment style or an avoidant attachment style. People with anxious attachment styles feel very clingy to the person. They're scared that they're going to leave, and these develop when you are a baby throughout your childhood, and it depends on how you were parented, really. And people with avoidant attachment styles are really avoidant if they like somebody or if they're in love, and they don't give that person the time and energy, but when they feel that person pulling away and giving up, then they come back and they try to win them back. So what you want to be is secure. Secure that partner that you're with is going to be there for you, and you're going to be there for them. You're going to fill each other up, and you can really be grounded in who you are, so that person can also feel grounded and safe with you too. Those attachment styles are so crucial to understand, and just understanding how you work. Go to therapy. I go to therapy. I talk about it all the time. I love it. I do a lot of journaling and shadow work practices. I have a whole video on shadow work as well to understand my faults and how I kind of self-sabotage at times, because I do, and I'm working on that. But understanding all of this will, in the end, make you a better partner and help you attract the right person. My friends think I'm crazy for this, but date based on your values, not on looks. I always do this. I date based on what kind of life do I want to live? What future do I want to have? How do I want to build my career, build my life, raise my kids, all of these things. My lifestyle, I obviously travel a lot. A lot of people ask me, how do you date while you travel and all of this? And I genuinely dated while I traveled. Like, I had relationships abroad and they were long distance and all of that. They didn't work out, unfortunately, but I think they could in the future because I am open to moving. My partners traveled a lot. They were also similar to me. I'm a third culture kid. When you date based on your values, this is how you're going to find your long-term partner who you can actually build a life with and a family and a proper dynamic, because looks are fleeting. And honestly, I find all my partners, or I found all of them, very attractive based on how they treated me and how we were together and just how their personality was and their ambition and all of that. And I think you can grow attraction. I'm not saying don't date people who you think are like so ugly, but don't put the looks above these other important things, because that's good for the beginning of a relationship, but it's not going to last if your values are not aligned, is what I'm trying to say. Really get clear, like write a list about all the qualities you want in a partner. Get so clear on this list, I'm telling you, because a huge issue I see is weak boundaries. Like, you guys have weak boundaries and you're too loose with them initially when you start dating people. Maybe you're on dating apps, or you meet someone and you agree to go on a date, but you're not really excited about it. And then you end up going on another date. You agree to just go on another date or do something else. And then you start hanging out more, and then you get comfortable, and then you fall into a relationship. But the whole time you're knowing that this isn't your person. Like, you don't really like this person that much. And then before you know it, you're in a 2-year relationship with them and you're talking about getting engaged because that's the next step in the road. And you know, you're telling your friends, I don't know if this is my person, but we're gonna get engaged. Don't do that. Don't allow yourself to end up in that situation by setting a really good filter on who you allow into your space. Notice how you feel around them, your energy. Do your values align? Is this the kind of person you want to be with? Like, all of these things are so important to gauge at the beginning so you can end up in a really healthy, good relationship that you choose. Don't stumble into a relationship. Choose who you have as a partner. This is the most important choice you're ever gonna make. Please choose wisely, because dating with intention will ensure that you end up in a happy marriage. I don't know how many people are in unhappy marriages and they can't get divorced, or they end up divorced and having to go through the whole thing again at a later date at an older age, or they just end up staying in these relationships and feeling miserable or having to like live double lives and whatever, and it's just not healthy. And I don't want want that for you. I genuinely hope that you end up in a really beautiful, loving, healthy, honest relationship. And the only way you can do that is if, one, you date with intention, like I said, and then two, you really value being single and you don't settle unless this is your person. Like, romanticize your single life. I do things with my friends. I go on dates every now and then, but not serial dates, but I will like meet people, whatever. I will spend so much time alone. I build community around me. I focus on my job, my career, my health, my wellness, all these beautiful things that make my life so full that if someone wants to be my partner, or if I want someone to be my partner, they need to add value to my life and I need to add value to their lives. I don't want to be with someone because I'm bored or I feel lonely or any of these things. I want to be with someone because I am so excited about this person that I genuinely feel like my life is going to become a million times better by being with them. And I think that's so possible if you get clear on what you want out of life, who you are, and what you want out of your partner. I wanted to get into talking about feminine and masculine energy and all these things in this video, but I think that's going to be another video. I have so much to say. Leave me questions below because I can continue talking about this for a bit more. But thank you for watching until the end of this video. I hope it was really helpful and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.